Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you. We are on to our next session. ये हमारे 8 steps हैं जिसके थ्रू हम पिछले lectures के थ्रू आए हैं, and what we have got to is step 3. अभी हम इसी में लगे हुए हैं, and we said कि जितना हम problem को define करेंगे उतना ही हम आगे सक्सेसफुल होंगे जिस रिलेशनशिप में हम चाहते हैं, जैसे चाहते हैं. सो वी आर लुकिंग एट द प्रेजेंट एंड वी आर लुकिंग एट द डिजायर्ड स्टेट एंड वी आर फाइंडिंग आउट व्हाइज, ताकि उसकी पूरी एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं ताकि वी कैन वर्क आउट. फिर जब हम कम्युनिकेशन करें सो वी विल बी इन अ मच बेटर सिचुएशन एंड स्टेट टू सी कि भाई क्या चीज़ काम करेगी. तो आज का जो आपने दिया, इट्स वेरी वेरी encouraging कि आप लोग देख रहे हैं अपने बिलीफ सिस्टम्स को. सो बेसिकली व्हाट वी आर सेइंग इज कि इन एनी रिलेशनशिप हमें अपनी तरफ फिंगर को पॉइंट करना है पहले. वी टेंड टू बी हैव अ हैबिट, वी कुड हैव अ हैबिट कि दूसरे की तरफ करें, लेकिन हम उसको सॉल्व तभी करेंगे जब हम अपनी तरफ फिंगर पॉइंट करेंगे और देखेंगे क्या हो रहा है. एंड दैट विल enable us to not only help ourselves but also help them. So इस अप्रोच से हम आगे चल रहे हैं. We have listed down steps इसके कि इसको कैसे आगे ले जाना है. And I'm going to actually go a little bit further into belief systems को कैसे नॉकआउट करना है. क्योंकि I was talking to Sister Farhana during the week and we were saying कि बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है with sometimes we are so emotional about it, we can't locate the belief system, we are so overwhelmed with what is going on. So ये session we'll try and look at that area कि आप जितने आप अपने belief system कुरान के मुताबिक ले आएंगे उतना ही लाइफ इजियर होगी. And that's what we are saying कि what is a marriage about, कि आप की वजह से न सिर्फ आप में पीस हो, आपके घर में पीस हो, आपके स्पाउस के लिए पीस हो, और वो भी आपके लिए सोर्स ऑफ पीस हो. ये हमारा मकसद है in our relationship. And then together you can do so much in life and serve Allah Ta'ala and be able to bring about exactly the result that you want in this life and also in the आखिरत. So इसको हमने ये steps बोले थे कि हमारे ज़रूरी हैं belief system में. So this is the crux of it and ये daily use होना है, तो इसलिए इस पे emphasis हम ज़्यादा दे रहे हैं. Every single day of your life you will have to knock out belief systems, क्योंकि हर तरफ से आ रहे हैं. आपको मीडिया दे रही है बिलीफ सिस्टम्स, आपके रिश्तेदार दे रहे हैं, आपका कल्चर दे रहा है, आप बचपन से आपके जो अपब्रिंगिंग हुई है उसमें भी बिलीफ सिस्टम्स हैं जो छुपे हुए हैं, आपको नहीं दिख रहे. सो वी टॉक्ड अबाउट कि अगर आपका बिलीफ सिस्टम है कि मैं यूजलेस हूँ, मैं कमज़ोर हूँ, तो फिर आपका पोटेंशियल, ये जो सर्कल है यहाँ पे, ये आपका पोटेंशियल भी कम आप कर देते हैं. वो एक बिलीफ से आपका पोटेंशियल कम हो गया, फिर आपका एक्शन कम हो गया, फिर आपके रिजल्ट्स भी खराब आने लगे, लाइफ में कम आने लगे, और आपका बिलीफ जो था कि मैं कमज़ोर हूँ, कुछ भी नहीं हूँ, वो ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गया. तो यू गो थ्रू दिस लूप and it gets stronger and stronger and then you believe in it totally कि मैं कुछ भी नहीं हूँ या क्या. It could go the other way. You could say कि I have the potential, if you want to do public speaking or something, I can do it, I'm able to do it. तो आपका ये बिलीफ होगा तो आपका पोटेंशियल भी ज्यादा होगा, आप एक्ट भी ज्यादा करेंगे, ज्यादा चीजों में हिस्सा लेंगे, रिजल्ट आएगा. Sometimes you'll make a mistake and that's okay. You still believe you can be a good speaker and learn from your mistakes. तो वो strong होता रहता है. So इसी तरह you have to be very very conscious about your belief systems. तो ये ABCDE steps जो हैं ये बहुत ज़रूरी हैं कि आइडेंटिफाई करें ये क्या है. What is it that what is the belief system that is making me emotional. So we're going to, in this session today, look at a belief system. मैंने तीन लिखे, but we won't, I don't think we'll have time to go through, और आप भी मुझे अपना interest बताएंगे. So the first one we are looking at, कि one feels कि मुझे respect नहीं मिल रही, मुझे इज्जत नहीं मिल रही, I'm not worthy of respect. I think sometimes women do feel this quite a lot more. Maybe men do it also, right? So ये interest का होगा, would this interest to कि इसके through जाएं, इस belief system के through जाएं? What would you say? Would it be of interest to you? Chat में बोल दें yes, no. Okay, all right, good. All right. So two जो है, number two, looks like there's some interest there, right? Okay. So my spouse's talk and the way of talking upsets me. ये number two है, और number three पे, let me just make this. ये पूरा नहीं आ रहा number three, or can you see it?
Yeah.
In my in-laws' comments makes me feel alone and excluded. तो 1, 2, 3 में तीनों इंटरेस्ट है, जिस पे इंटरेस्ट, अगर if they are all interest तो बता दें, तो then we can cover them, one by one. But what I want to do is कि एक तो thoroughly करें, ताकि you are fully confident कि आप हर चीज में apply कर सकें. So we're going to look at this first one. Okay, inshallah we'll do that. Okay. Very good. You're interested in all of them. All right. So let's look at this one. So you feel upset. आप जाती हैं, maybe you're going to a room with your family, with your gatherings or something, and you feel कि मुझे कोई इज्जत नहीं मिल रही. You're getting upset about it. You're getting upset कि ये मुझे इज्जत नहीं दे रहे, मुझे importance नहीं दे रहे. I'm feeling upset. That's all you're aware of at that time, right? So you ask yourself these questions at the bottom. So what is it that you were seeking? What were you seeking? आप बाद में देखते हैं, आप पूछते हैं अपने खुद से, what were you seeking at that time? So your answer could be, I wanted everybody to respect me. I wanted everybody to give me importance. And I wanted everybody's attention. ये होता है कि कभी आपको सब attention दे रहे, लेकिन एक बंदे की निगाह आपके ऊपर थोड़ी सही नहीं है. या उसने कुछ बोल दिया, लेकिन वो पूरी चीज आपके ऊपर हावी हो जाती है. वो पूरी चीज takes on that flavor, that whole grain, and you're upset. So you're saying, okay, what is the result you were seeking? You were seeking everyone should do that. ये आपके belief system में है. And why were you seeking that? Because that is my purpose in life. Maybe you could answer that. That is my purpose in life for being there. This is what the gathering is about, that I want this from it. I go there for this, so that everybody gives me importance. I feel respect worthy. I feel I get their attention. They like me. This is why I'm in this gathering. So where does this come to be कि आप इसका ये influence हो गया है कि आप इस तरह सोच रहे हैं? Ask yourself that question, right? And you say, my parents said it, I picked it up from the culture. Everybody thinks that. My relatives talk like that. My grown-ups talk like that. Movies or dramas में भी यही दिखाया जा रहा है. मेरे friends भी इसी के बारे में बोलते रहते हैं कि वो मुझे, that I was praised like this, I was praised like that. They looked at me, they said nice things about me. So the whole thing is that you want to be liked by others, and you want to see that happening in an event or everywhere you go. So how were you influenced? Why did this influence you? What attracted you? What you learned, आप इसका जवाब क्या आप खुद को देंगे? आप अपना जवाब देंगे. I'm just giving you an example that I had to be a success. I had to have a successful life. ये आपके है definition of success, आपका वो बन गया कि I should have everyone respect me, everyone give importance to me, everybody like me, right? So ये चीज आपने अपने लिए define कर दी है. By asking these questions, you will dig it out कि क्या है पीछे इसके. When did this occur? Well, it occurred before marriage, in university, at school, and it occurred within the family, siblings, all functions पे जाती थी, बस यही होता था, वहां से होता था. So अब क्वेश्चन नंबर A का आंसर हो गया है. Locate the thing that causes irritation, write the details. ये आपने ये जो 1 to 5 के क्वेश्चंस आपने आंसर कर लिए. तो you are now more in control about ये किधर से ये upset आया, क्यों आया, right? So now you start looking at the belief systems इसके पीछे जो हैं, and you could say कि I should be respected. I should be respected is my belief system. And I'm not, when nobody should disrespect me. That should be my belief is that I should never be disrespected. I'm not, and then you say, well, इन्होंने मुझे disrespect किया, इन्होंने मुझे इस तरह देखा, then you say to yourself, I'm not worthy of his respect. आपने खुद को कह दिया ये, क्योंकि उसने आपको एक नजर गुस्से से बोला या कुछ कह दिया, and you told yourself, I'm not respect worthy. I'm failing, I'm not successful. And there are bad consequences if you're not respected. वो भी आपके belief system में घुसा हुआ है. You have somehow told yourself that. What do they think of me is so very, very important. What they think of me is so very, very important. They must think good of me. नहीं तो मेरी life सही नहीं है. Right? So their views determine my existence. इस तरह से सोच रहे हैं. ये आपका belief system है कि उनके व्यूज आपकी लाइफ को डिटरमिन करते हैं, आपकी सक्सेस को डिटरमिन करते हैं और आपके फेलियर को डिटरमिन करते हैं. राइट? डज दैट मेक सेंस कि आपने अपना बिलीफ सिस्टम अब निकाल लिया ये क्वेश्चंस देख के, सोच के. यू हैव टू फाइंड दैट. नाउ नंबर बी भी हमारा हो गया, राइट? बी हो गया. सो नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू लुक एट सी. ये तो हमने देख लिया कि ये बिलीफ सिस्टम घुसा हुआ है वहां पे, जो इतना अनहैप्पीनेस और इतना it's not really going to help you in life, such a belief system. So now you're going to go to point C and say, होना क्या चाहिए मेरा belief system? ये कैसा belief system है? इसमें तो मैं कभी खुश हो ही नहीं सकती. I'm all the time at effect of somebody else doing something, and if they do smile at me and praise me, I'm happy, and if they are angry at me or something, then I'm upset. तो उन्हीं के हाथ में मैंने चाबी दे दी है जो अपनी पूरी लाइफ की, right? So that's not the right belief system. So आप फिर अपने को देखते हैं और आप अल किताब कुरान के based on that must be your belief system. This is your entire goal of your life, that your belief system should match al kitab. So you can say who I am. I'm a creation of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala makes things perfect. He makes them perfect. So in my true self, I am perfect, the way Allah Ta'ala wanted me, and I'm accountable to Him. I'm not defined. ये आपका नया belief system आ रहा है कि I'm not defined by what others think of me. My existence does not depend on what other people think of me. I make mistakes. ये भी कह आपके belief system में ये होना चाहिए, मुझसे गलतियां होंगी, but I learn from my mistakes, right? I don't get upset and spend a lot of time thinking about them. I learn from them. And then you say, my journey of life is of spiritual growth. This is my entire purpose in life, to grow spiritually. It's not to please others. It's not to make other people smile at me and like me. It is to grow spiritually. Respect, importance, and attention of others does not define my success. ये भी आपको इसी में से निकलेगा कि it is not defining your success. Respect आपको कोई देता है, importance देता है, attention देता है. It does not define your success. People are different and entitled to their views. They are entitled to them. उनको भी हक है जो सोचें, आपको भी हक है जो आप सोचें. Respect and disrespect is in Allah Ta'ala's hand. You can put that as a belief system in yourself. Respect and disrespect Allah Ta'ala ke haath mein. I must live to the fitra granted to me by Allah Ta'ala. I must live up to that standard. and not bow to the thoughts and opinions of others. फिर तो उनकी वर्शिप शुरू हो जाएगी अगर हम उनके थॉट्स को देंगे. So you make this your new belief system. I'm capable of deciding if I did wrong or right and correcting myself. And I can be separate from their thoughts. You know, उनके thought आप पे हावी नहीं हो जाने चाहिए, and you become that. You make your belief system, my thoughts are separate from them. So ये आपका C हो जाता है, right? Does that make sense? So now you've got your old belief system and you've replaced it with your new one. And फिर हम कह रहे हैं कि D में आपको अपने belief system जो पुराना था उसको cancel करना है. And you have to really tell the mind that. Eventually आप किसकी तरफ aim कर रहे हैं कि आपके सारे belief system अल-किताब से match करें. And the mind goes on your belief system because जब आप कोई भी चीज कर रहे थे आपने वो belief system बनाया, आप बच गए किसी चीज से. आप बच गए. अगर उसी एरिया में जहां आपको इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं मिल रही थी, इज्जत नहीं मिल रही थी, आप शोर शराबा करते तो और खराबी आती. तो आपने अपने खुद को कहा मैं कुछ भी नहीं हूं, मैं इनसे कम हूं, मुझे चुप ही रहना चाहिए, मैं कुछ भी वर्दी नहीं हूं रिस्पेक्ट की, और आप बच गए उससे. तो माइंड ने इसको ट्रैक बना लिया कि चुप रह जाओ, कम हो जाओ. तो आपने उसको पिछले बिलीफ सिस्टम से आप उस रूट पे चले गए हो क्योंकि वो सेफ ऑप्शन है फॉर द माइंड. सो नाउ यू आर गिविंग योरसेल्फ द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू कैंसिल दैट बिलीफ सिस्टम. और वो उसका रिलीजन था जो पहला था. तो नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू एक्चुअली से लाउडली टू योरसेल्फ that you no longer believe that I'm not worthy of respect, that you're failing, that I'm not successful. I don't believe in that anymore. You have to tell that to the mind. I don't believe in that. And you must say what they think of me is not important. They have a right to their opinion. It's not important what they think of me. And my existence and my success and my failure does not depend on their viewpoints. I cancel all the belief system that has to do with that. I no longer will operate with that. And then you bring in your new belief system जो आपने नया बनाया है कि I'm accountable to Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala is the one to give me izzat and zillat. He's the one that guides me. I have to live to the maximum of my fitra. I can stand in a crowd and, I can take whatever happens there as long as I'm acting on my fitra. It doesn't matter whatever anybody else does. And if I've done wrong, I can admit my mistakes. So उसके बेसिस पे आपका नया बिलीफ सिस्टम आ गया और अपने माइंड को कहा अभी इस पे मैं चलूंगी. राइट. सो does that make sense कि ये A to E पे हम चल पड़े and we did all the steps. Any questions on this one or you happy with it? समझ आ गई? Does it make sense? Yeah. Okay. Good. So the reason I emphasize this is that it needs to be applied really every day. बहुत चीजें होती हैं. अल्लाह ताला बहुत मौके देते हैं अपने बिलीफ सिस्टम्स को सही करने के. And we all get upset during the day. And it's a give yourself half an hour outside, sit down, do the questions, answer the questions, and get yourself cleaned up. And you rise to a higher level of purity, inshallah, through doing these steps. So जो एक चीज आ रही थी we were looking at is that we don't seem to sometimes get to the belief system. We can't locate it. हम इतने emotional हो गए हैं, इतने charged up हो गए हैं that nothing seems to work. We can't get out of it. So false self में चले गए हैं और नहीं हो नहीं रहा कुछ भी, या belief system पकड़ नहीं पा रहे. तो इस चीज में जो एग्जाम्पल मैंने दी, एक तो आप देखें कि ऑब्स्टिकल्स में एक है कि एक बिलीफ सिस्टम नहीं है, कितने सारे हमने ढूंढ लिए. उस एक अपसेट में कितने सारे बिलीफ्स थे. तो वो लेयर्स अपॉन लेयर्स वो जुड़े हुए हैं, उनको एक पूरा सिस्टम बना हुआ है. तो आप जितना भी उसकी एक सफाई एक लेयर को आपने हटा दिया, और दूसरे लेयर नीचे होंगे, वी आर ऑल नॉट परफेक्ट, वील हैव ऑल दीज लेयर्स, तो इंशाल्लाह वो भी हम आहिस्ता आहिस्ता सफाई करेंगे। अल्लाह ताला कहते हैं कम बैक टू मी प्योर, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू। सो एक पॉइंट है कि बहुत बिलीफ्स हैं, बहुत कन्विक्शंस हैं, तो उसको आप देखें जिस तरह एग्जाम्पल में मैंने आपको दिखाया। अच्छा, द अदर वन इज दैट the other point is that you're something's happening and you're with your spouse, or and you're unable to tolerate him or somebody in that, generally applies to every situation, तो आप tolerate नहीं कर पा रहे उस person को बिल्कुल भी, right? So then you have to really see कि आप क्या देख रहे हैं उसका, आप क्या देख रहे हैं, आप उसका किरदार पे आपका अटेंशन है, आप उसके कैरेक्टर को फ्लॉ ढूंढ रहे हैं। दैट्स व्हाई यू कांट टॉलरेट हिम। ये झूठ बोलता है, ये जोर से बोलता है, ये प्यार से नहीं बोलता, ही इज ऑलवेज क्रिटिसाइजिंग मी, यू आर फाइंडिंग फ्लॉज इन द कैरेक्टर, right? And that's not how to resolve it. वो बिलीफ सिस्टम नहीं आएगा अगर आपका माइंड में ये चल रहा है, राइट? सो डोंट पास जजमेंट। हम रोल एक्टिविटी रिजल्ट में हम कह रहे हैं कि आपका उनके रोल पे आपका हो रहा है, उनके कैरेक्टर पे आपकी अटेंशन जा रही है। हालांकि आपको देखना चाहिए कि रिजल्ट इशू पे है। जो चीज़ आप डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, मे बी यूर डिस्कसिंग फाइनेंसेस और मे बी यूर डिस्कसिंग बच्चों की एजुकेशन, वो चीज़ पे आपका इशू पे अटेंशन डालें, या जो एक्टिविटी हो रही है बातचीत की उस पे डालें, बट डोंट पुट इट ऑन उनका किरदार। यू वोंट गेट टू द बिलीफ सिस्टम दैट वे, you just have to go lower on that and to look at the result, क्योंकि जज कौन करता है, वो who should be judging the person, who should be judging, अल्लाह ताला should be judging, right? हमें क्या पता किसी की नीयत क्या है, वो क्या किस किस जर्नी से गुजरे हैं। सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट also seeing कि they might be reasons कि they are upset about something, अगर गुस्से में बोल रहे हैं, so you have to say why is this person in the false self। एक तो जल्दी से पहचाने कि वो false self में है, and don't talk to people when they are in their false self, you're not going to get anywhere with the false self। So and then empathize with that कि what happens, maybe there is something there you can help them with, उनका भी past है, or he's gone maybe had a rough day or something like that, what happened, तो वहां पे आपकी empathy, yes, वहां पे आपकी empathy has to come in, ताकि आप you actually maintain that role of looking after him, of tranquility. I always tell my husband that if I go into the false self, you have no permission to go into the false self. you know? So I need you there at that time. देख पैक्ट होना चाहिए हस्बैंड के साथ, वो चले जाते तो मैं खड़ी रहूंगी in my true self, and then if I sometimes go out of my thing, then he has to be there for me. अगर दोनों ही चले जाते हैं तो बिल्कुल ही you lost time, effort, everything खराब ही होता जाता है। So that is something that we can make a agreement on with our spouses, to please be there for us when we go down, and we'll be there for them when when they need us. Okay. So now the other thing was belief system, एक और जगह पे भी बहुत मुश्किल से मिलते हैं, when you find yourself overly critical about the other person, overly critical, आपने ये गलत किया, आप ये हमेशा यूं करते हैं, you don't listen to and you don't do it right, So it's basically when you're being overly critical of somebody, what do you have to do? You have to see कि आपने किसी के साथ ऐसे तो नहीं किया हुआ पहले past में. You're very pure and you don't like to be, Allah Ta'ala ने हमें पैदा ही ऐसा किया है. We don't like to do wrong things. And when we are seeing and being overly critical of somebody else, तो हमें अपनी अंदर खा रहा है कि हमने भी किया है ये किसी के साथ, तो उसकी सफाई पहले कर लें, and then inshallah you'll be able to correct that, inshallah, and talk on that area much more smoothly. Does that make sense? Is it okay?
एग्जाम्पल दे जैसे फायदा इसका कि ओवरली क्रिटिकल
if you're saying कि आपने मुझसे झूठ बोला, आपने मुझे सच नहीं बताया, you should have been you shouldn't have twisted the facts. आप लगे हुए हैं उस बात के ऊपर, you can't let go of it, right? Then you have to say कि I, as Farida, have I done that to anybody in the past? मैंने झूठ बोला है किसी चीज से बचने के लिए. Well, have I done that? And I clean myself up. I might have done it several times. So when I can clean myself up, then I'm not critical about that other person. So, तो वो चीज भी अपने में वॉच करें. ये भी अल्लाह ताला का मौका होता है. अल्लाह ताला मौका देते हैं to clean ourselves up, right? Okay, so we got to the 3 points here, and now we go to, you got too much upset of the past. Too much upset of the past. So इसमें दो methods I'm going to give that you may want to use in order to be able to get to your belief system. आपके पास इतना upset है कि आप देख ही नहीं पा रहे अपने belief systems को, सोच ही नहीं पाते, वो इतना emotion भरा हुआ है आप में, right? So firstly, let's look at के memories आपकी बहुत है. You got so many memories and not all of them are alive at every time, अगर आपके पास sometimes the environment makes the memory come alive, if you see something similar, like if somebody had an accident in a red car घुसेगी, वो memory आ जाएगी, memory आ सकती है आपके पास वापस, right? So what we are saying is कि अगर एक husband and wife या किसी relationship में you have an upset, it can trigger earlier upsets as well. It can. So they can all come there, right? So now you're full of emotion. You all got so much upset on this whole thing. So the general tarika hota hai, we try to resist that. We try to, and the whole body has got that emotion in it. You made it come alive by putting your attention on it. So the general way of dealing with that is to resist it and not look at it and keep it away, right? So गुस्सा भी आ रहा होता है, देखना भी नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं करना. You have that. But what you resist will persist. वो बाद में double okay आता रहता है. The situation keeps coming up again and again. So the best way to do that, and you don't have to look at all the incidents, you don't. What you have to do is just close your eyes and let the energy flow. क्योंकि वो भरी हुई है आपकी memory में. It comes alive and is there. Just let it flow. Don't resist it anymore. Yeah? So एक तरीका ये है, and you will let it flow and it will go away. It will just go away. So try that. Next time आप बताइएगा इसको करके देख के and tell me how did it work for you. So let that energy flow. तो आपके में से वो negative energy निकल गई. It's gone now. And now you can look at your belief system, right? Okay, now the other one, this is the first method, and then the other one, based on, Al-Kitab, we look at, Allah Ta'ala says in Surah Imran hai, ayat 190, indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day are signs for those of understanding. And he goes on to say in 191, who remember Allah while standing or sitting or on their sides and give thought to the creation of the heavens and the earth. So it goes on to say, our Lord, we did not create this aimlessly. Exalted are you, then protect us from the punishment of the fire. So main emphasis, Joe, I want you to look at is, everything here is, important, but जो जिस ख्याल से हम belief system से देख रहे हैं कि who remembers Allah while standing or sitting or on their sides and gives thought to the creation of the heavens and the earth. So we are looking at this thing and keeping the fitrah in mind as well, that we've been created and blessed. So everything that Allah has created, and if you look at this surah 22:18, do you not see that Allah is He whom obeys whoever is in the heavens and whoever is in the earth, and the sun and the moon and the stars and the mountains and the trees and the animals and many of the people? So Allah का जो law है, Allah का जो command है, everything in the world is obeying that, right? Whether it be trees or birds or mountains or any animals or anything, you see them obeying it. And then in Surah 16:49, Allah Ta'ala says to Allah prostrate all that is in the heavens and all that is in the earth, and the moving creatures and the angels, and they are not proud, right? So यहाँ पे भी अगर हम देखें तो एक physical body में you got all the organs, they operate per the law of Allah. All of the organs in the body, if you look at the petals of a flower and the parts of a flower, similarly, they are obeying Allah Ta'ala. And the ant ke parts, then you go on to systems, solar systems, other systems, all the body systems, they are all obeying Allah Ta'ala. And the climate and everything around us. So what we see that even, our tongue, our ears, everything is following the laws of Allah Ta'ala, right? But when we are in our false self, then they're not. They get upset, the whole energy system, everything, we've deviated from that purity, from that way of Allah Ta'ala, and we have gone into the false self. तो वो energy levels भी हमने emotions को भी देखा था कैसे change हो जाते हैं, right? So one of the other ways to overcome this too much upset of the past and you can't control yourself is just because every cell and everything is obeying Allah. You just have the concept of Allah Ta'ala and flow it through your whole body. Flow it through your whole self. And everything will come into alignment as it's supposed to be. वो चली जाएगी इंशाल्लाह आपकी upset. So I would encourage you to try this. तो बताएं कैसा जाता है and how do you feel after doing that? So is this number D पे कोई questions हैं? Are you happy with the two methods? Are there any questions you want to ask? So next homework में ये included होगा कि आप बताएंगे, and we'd like you to share what can you do that? Did it work for you or not? कोई questions हैं?
Yeah, Sister Azra, how to let that energy flow? I mean, how do we connect to Allah? वो energy कैसे लाएं?
How to let
do
the
it?
energy flow? ये पहले वाले की बात कर रहे हैं, right?
The
This is the
अच्छा,
first one.
okay, maybe the first one.
How
Okay.
do you let the energy flow? आपका गुस्सा आया हुआ है या आपका गम है या जो भी है, you just let it flow. You're not resisting it anymore. If you think about even happiness, you can let it glow and take over the space, right? You can. So उसमें भी don't resist it. We don't tend to be negative emotions. हम उनको stop करते हैं. We don't want them. We don't want them. We go like this on them. Let them flow. Let them go through your whole body. Let it flow out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For example, if you're feeling like
You're not
crying,
speaking. You're not speaking, Azra. You're not speaking. आपका ये quiet है. You just, it's energy क्या है? Energy is a wave. You don't have to speak. You don't have to do anything. You just need to let that energy flow. Right? आपको गुस्सा आया हुआ है, you're all red and everything. Let that heat and everything flow from you. Let it all go. Right? Don't try and reach it. अगर reach करेंगे ना तो एक और खड़ा हो जाएगा. Does that make sense, Azza?
लेकिन मैम उसका कुछ तरीका भी तो होगा ना, कैसे उसको निकालें? जब तक बोलेंगे नहीं निकलेगी कैसे?
नहीं बोलने की क्या जरूरत? प्लीज अपना बोलना नहीं. You just let it flow. Okay, अभी करें आप. Are you flowing? Are you flowing affinity to me? Are you flowing, Sister Shazia?
Yes.
You're flowing. So why can't you flow anger? Why can't you let it flow? You don't say anything, just flow affinity to me.
लेकिन मैम फिर इसमें और टॉलरेट करने में क्या डिफरेंस रहेगा?
टॉलरेट से क्या मतलब?
मतलब अगर हम अपने अंदर रोक लेते हैं वो गुस्सा या जो भी एनर्जी है, एक टाइम पे तो गुस्सा ही आता है ना, तो एक तो हम चुप रहते हैं, दैट मीन्स हम चुप है, तो वो तो फिर हमें वैसे ही परेशान करेगा ना, अगर हम बस खामोश हो जाते हैं। और फ्लो करना कैसे होता है?
हाँ, फ्लो देखें, आप बैठे हो ना, आप मुझे देख रहे हो, यू कैन फ्लो अफिनिटी टू मी, राइट? यू कैन फ्लो योर एंगर आउट। आप में लव भी है, आप उसको देती हैं, आप बच्चे को कुछ भी नहीं कहती, लेकिन यू फ्लो अफिनिटी, राइट? यू फ्लो लव, यू फ्लो प्लेजर, सो यू कैन फ्लो दिस एज वेल.
आप इसमें
You can flow your anger without voicing it. Please don't voice it. वो तो और भी आपका गुनाह हो जाएगा आपको. वो तो नहीं करना. वो energy wave है. We talked about emotions. आपने part 2 में देखा. It's all energy, and you just let it flow out of your body. Does it make sense, Shazia?
Yeah, you know, for example, if you're feeling like crying, you know, you just let it out. It's okay, you know. आंसू आ जाए, you know, you let it out, and just observe yourself. You know, you just observe yourself and acknowledge the feeling. अगर आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है तो आप, you know, आपकी सोल कहे कि मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा है, मुझे ये, you know, ये my mind ये बातें कहने के लिए कह रहा है. आप अपने आप को observe करें. You know, मुझे गर्मी महसूस हो रही है, you know, जिस्म के अंदर, you know, just आप observe करें अपने आप को, as if you're standing out of yourself and just watching yourself, and फिर वो, you know, चले जाएगा, you know, drink water, you know, then you say okay, मैं थोड़ी सी ठंडी हो रही, you know, just observe, अपने आप से बातें करें, and वो दूसरों को, you know, you don't have to say anything to, you know, if you want to go into maybe a, you know, कोई दूर की, I mean, private place, and, you know, just want to let it out, deep sigh, you know, deep breathing kare, you know, these are some other things, you know.
लेकिन सॉरी, मेरा यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन है कि जब हम दोबारा उस पर्सन को देखते हैं, वो तो डबल रिचार्ज हो जाता है हमारे अंदर वापस. ये तो है ना.
वो तो रिलीज नहीं हुआ ना. फिर देखें,
तो फिर हम क्या पहाड़ों
one
पे जाके मतलब ऐसे या अकेले में हम अपना मतलब ये इमोशन रिलीज करें? क्योंकि इमोशन जो होते हैं वो तो एक्सप्रेशन होते हैं ना, मतलब वो तो एक्सप्रेस करने पड़ते हैं. आप नहीं,
It's an energy wave in you. आपके जो pictures हैं, they have that emotion in them as energy, right? एक तो ये हो सकता है कि सिस्टर फरहाना को जैसे कोई अपसेट है, मुझे अपसेट है, मैं सिस्टर फरहाना को पूरी बात बताती हूँ, उससे भी रिलीज हो जाता है, उससे होता है रिलीज, right? But then you have to go into every single incident like that, right? And that मैं कह रही हूँ कि ये क्विकर वे है कि आप उसको बस पीछे यूं जाएं अपनी मेमोरी में ही. You just go over it and release the emotion on it. You know, just let it flow. उसको resist नहीं करें, उन incidents को resist नहीं करें. You know, आप तो उसको रोकते हैं, कहते हैं नहीं सोचना, ये तो ये भी किया था, वो भी किया था. Just have it, accept it. It happened. It's got energy, negative energy. Let it flow out of you. You're carrying it all the time. Just let it go.
उसको आप पेपर पे भी लिख सकते हो. You can, some other practical tips if you want, you can write in a paper and put it in a shredder. I felt like this happened to me. This made me upset. I acknowledge I did not like it. This made me feel this way, but I'm going to let it go. करके आप उसको shred कर.
And it's a good idea to start by writing, because then you know, once you do that, तो आपको आदत हो जाएगी, फिर writing की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. But it's good to start with that. Just do your journaling and write it out all. You know.
बिल्कुल. And Sister Sana ने भी, you know, अच्छा point किया. बिल्कुल, walking reduces stress. You know, subhanallah, I find this very big. You know, go out in the nature. When you just go out in the morning, see the beautiful sunrise, see this beautiful vast, you know, nature around you. उसमें भी इतनी आपकी energy चली जाती है, negative energy. You know, subhanallah, I mean, a morning comes and a fresh morning comes and everything is back in place. You know, storm आता है, you know, the winter comes, the trees stand still through it, and they're all, doing work to produce, the next flower in the spring. Subhanallah, nature just inspires you. वो कितना अच्छा कर लेते हैं काम without uttering a single word. But they just diffuse the energy. आप just feel it. Yeah, subhanallah. Okay.
So the important thing is, the walking is good, but what we are trying to, walking से क्या होएगा कि you will get those pictures out of your mind. What we are trying to do is to actually get that upset out of the mind totally. That is what we're trying to get. Right? So ये बाकी remedies हैं to get the pictures back to go away from you. But this method is to actually handle, क्योंकि वो हर दफा खड़ा हो जाएगा आपके spouse के साथ, वो पूरा chain खड़ा हो जाएगा, and you're trying to get rid of it so that it doesn't impact on you next time. And you have to work on it, but you do have to work on in silence, quietly, on your own on it. Make sense?
या सिस्टर आयशा का क्वेश्चन ले लेते हैं। जी सिस्टर आयशा।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं ये पूछना चाह रही थी कि जो ये जैसे अब अगर कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हुआ है तो आप एक सिचुएशन में हैं, आप नहीं कोई आंसर करना चाह रहे अगले बंदे को क्योंकि आपको पता है कि फायदा नहीं है, लेकिन वो चल रही है बात, आप उस सिचुएशन को अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते, आप उधर से हिल नहीं सकते, आप जा नहीं सकते, वो रूडनेस में आ जाएगा। उस टाइम पे ये अक्सर शिकायत मिलती है कि चुप तो कर गई लेकिन मुंह बना लिया। मुझे नहीं लगता कि मैंने मुंह बनाया, लेकिन उनको लगता है। वो क्या चीज होती है? वो मैं फिर एनर्जी अपनी रिलीज नहीं कर रही, उनको ये फील होता है। मुझे ये थोड़ा सा मुझे गाइड कर दें।
I think actually you just need to acknowledge कि जो issue है आपके लिए तो resolve नहीं हुआ है, but you are saying कि you don't want to say anything, but you could say it कि I understand your viewpoint. आपका understand किया मैंने viewpoint and I'm going to think about it, and that's it. Then I need to think about it so that I can understand it better.
लेकिन इस सिचुएशन में अगर जैसे फिर एनर्जी रिलीज आप कह रही हैं, वो फिर माइंड में ही होगी ना। जैसे आपने अपने माइंड को समझा रही हैं कि अगर मैं गलत नहीं हूँ या मुझे समझ आ रही है, मेरे पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, उनका अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, तो थोड़ी मैं कंफ्यूज हो रही हूँ कि उसको कैसे मतलब उसको लेट इट गो कैसे करने दें, होने दें।
अच्छा, we're looking at obstacles to locating belief systems, right? ये आपका, I think it's something else जो आप देख रहे हो आयशा. It's if it's an upset, you can it's fine, you can see it. मुझे तो नहीं लग रहा आप में कोई upset है. You're quite clear about what you consider in this situation. It's right or wrong. It's okay. He has his opinion, you have your opinion. The important thing is that if you have an upset on it, you shouldn't have an upset on it. अगर है तो आप देखें कि आप उसके पीछे belief system क्या है कि आप upset हो रहे हो. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So I think I should stop the recording here. What do you think, Sister Shazia?
Yeah.